Hello everybody and a big welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Florence and here we talk about life in the diaspora, life abroad. Today we're going to talk about domiciliary care and what is involved in it because I came to the UK on a health worker visa 2 years ago. So I love to talk about healthcare and what's involved and just to bring a light into what is involved in domiciliary care. So in domiciliary care, basically, it's when we go out there and support people in the comfort of their home. Mostly it's the elderly, mostly it's those people who need support, but in the comfort of their home, unlike a situation where somebody's working in a hospital or a care home or a residential home. So with domiciliary care, basically, what people go in to do is to offer 4 or 5 things, basically. So I'm just going to go into it straight away. Some of the things that we do in domiciliary care is the first thing I'm going to talk about is personal care. Personal care is when you give somebody be it a wash, be it a shower, be it a bath in the morning, just to get them dressed and ready for the day. Also on personal care, there is oral care involved. This is when you brush their teeth or brush or clean their dentures as well, depending on what their situation is like. But oral care is quite important and is a very, very big and essential part of personal care. Also, part and parcel of what you do when it comes to personal care is making sure that their skin is moisturized and well dried. Why do we do this? This is to prevent moisture-associated damage to the skin. This is to avoid redness and soreness that is associated with moisture, sweat, and, pressure. Part and parcel of personal care in domiciliary care involves continence care as well. This is when you change pads. This is when you make sure they're on a clean pad every morning or in the afternoon, depending on their continence needs. Some people have their pads changed maybe 4 times a day, some 2 times a day, some once a day, depending on their continence, because some they do have variable continence and some are totally incontinent. So after getting them ready, some people, you do actually get them out of bed and get them maybe in their seat for the day or for the morning, or maybe some they're being nursed in bed. But basically, first thing that you do is to do personal care with them. After that, one of the things that are very important in domiciliary care is whereby you offer medication. Depending on the circumstances or depending on their care plan, some people, they do require prompting, whereby you just remind them to take their medication and they do it on their own. But some do require assistance with medication. And in some instances, as a carer, you do administer medication. But all of these things do differ from organization to organization, and you actually get trained on these things. So it's very, very important to stick to the policies and procedures of your organization, and also to pay particular attention to the person that you're supporting's care plan. It's very, very important. I'll talk about the care plan later on in this video. One of the things as well that I want to talk about when it comes to medication is also to pay attention to documentation or stock updates. This is whereby you fill in the MAR chart, be it on the system or be it a paper MAR chart. But these are very, very important, whereby you have to make sure you document each and every medication that you would have either prompted or administered with your patient in line with the policies and procedures of your organization. This is for accountability purposes. No wonder why I'm stressing on the importance of paying particular attention to this. Part and parcel of what one does in domiciliary care is with regards to meal preparation and serving meals. So depending on the organization that you work for, in some instances you actually do prepare meals, but in some instances, or most instances, is whereby you are serving ready-made meals, whereby you're just warming up the food in the microwave and then you're serving. Part and parcel of what's important when you are preparing meals is to pay attention to expiry dates, pay attention to the time with which you're supposed to either microwave or preheat or cook the meal. It's very, very important to avoid food poisoning and all other things that are associated with food. So it's very, very important for you to pay a particular attention to this. Make sure whatever food that you're going to prepare is within the dates. And also to make sure that the food that you're serving has got the correct temperature as well. Part and parcel of what you're supposed to also pay attention to when it comes to meal preparation and serving meals is also to make sure that it's a well-balanced meal. So it's entirely up to you. It's entirely the onus is on you as a carer to make sure that they're having a well-balanced meal, because some people will just say, no, I don't want that, or I want that. But also you feed back that to your manager, you feed that back to your office. You document that to say, for the longest, they've just been asking for fries. For 2 days in a row now, they've been asking for fries, because also part and parcel of what we do is we are paying attention to nutrition. We are paying attention to their nutritional needs. Whilst we're on meals and serving meals, we cannot talk about nutrition and not talk about hydration. This is one of the key things when it comes to looking after the elderly. You got to make sure that they are staying hydrated. They're taking up enough fluids, essential for their hydration. So what sort of fluids do you serve? I mean, I live in the UK and it's a cold country mostly. So part and parcel of the things that you're supposed to offer or ask if they do need them is offer them a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, hot chocolate. Also do offer them whether they want juice or a cold drink or squash. Above everything, one of the things that are important also is to offer them water. So these are some of the things that you actually need to keep track of and also monitor to say, okay, I've made them a cup of tea in the morning, I've let them a bottle of water, how much have they drink? All of that do add up and actually can give you an idea of how much intake when it comes to fluids they are taking. And also it's important for you as a carer also to be checking how heavy their pad is, so that you're monitoring, you are keeping track of the fluid balance. So these are part and parcel of the things that we do as domiciliary care workers. One of the things that I also want to talk about is companionship. Whilst you're doing whatever you're doing, also do remember that some of these people, they've got no one. Some of these people, they do not have family. They cannot go out because of their circumstances. So the only person that they probably see in a day is you. So it's very, very important for you to engage with them, for you to have a conversation with them, but keep it very professional. How do you keep it professional? You then refer to your policies and procedures. There are so many things that you can actually talk about, and talking about them and opening up to them can forge actually professional relationships that can help you understand their needs, understand their circumstances better. I love to talk about communication being a very key quality when it comes to care. Part and parcel of what I deem to be a good carer qualities is for you to have good communication. So this borders around communication with the person that you're serving, communication with the person that you're supporting, their family and your team as well. So as you are offering care, as you're doing what you're doing in somebody's house, talk to them, ask them, share with them experiences, talk about the weather, talk about things that are day-to-day things that are happening out there. They love these things. You're probably the only person, the only contact that they have with the outside world. So they do look forward to enriching conversations with you. But just do remember and do bear in mind to keep those conversations very professional. It's part and parcel of the things that you're trained when you, part and parcel of your onboard training. You get trained on professional communication, professional conversations, depending on your organization. It's something that I'll talk about in my future videos as well. I'll go on to the next thing, part and parcel of the things that we do in domiciliary care. We also undertake simple chores in the house. When I talk about simple chores, what do I mean? By simple chores, I'm talking about washing the dishes, doing the laundry, packing away groceries, hoovering in the house, feeding pets. So these are depending on the client or the person that you're caring, depending on their care plan. Some of these tasks are actually clearly documented to say, okay, empty bin, do the dishes, put away the dishes, put away laundry, or do laundry on such and such a day. So you need to pay attention to these care plans and to these daily tasks and make sure that you fulfill them. Why do I say that? It helps you to keep on top of things. That's number one. Number two, hygiene and care, they do go hand in hand. Hygiene is quite important. So part and parcel of hygiene is just keeping on top of the housework, keeping on top of all the, house chores. Also, one of the things that I want to add on when it comes to house chores and simple chores is just maybe watering plants, tending to plants in the house. I mean, these are the little things that are quite important to the people that we care for. So you cannot, simply because it's not in their care plan, then I will not water their plant. Probably you may ask, do I need to water your plant? Probably it's that plant that means a lot to them. Maybe they were given by a neighbor. Maybe they were bought that plant for their birthday. So it's one of the things that show you are caring, that show you pay attention to their needs as well. So find out if it's okay for you to water their plant. Find out if maybe their pet needs fed. And when it comes to pets, one of the things that I notice is the way people overseas treat their pets. Pets are part of the family. So you'll find that it could be in their care plan. It could be part and parcel of their care plan. So you have to be aware of how important their pet is and what you have to do with their pet. And depending on your organization, some of the organizations, they actually give you a choice to say, okay, such and such has got this for a pet. Are you comfortable going to their house? Are you comfortable doing 1, 2, 3, 4 with their pet? Honest is very important. There's no harm in you saying, I'm not comfortable doing A, B, C, D with the pet. I'm okay maybe saving them, but I'm not comfortable touching the pet. So it's very, very important for them to know what you can do and what you cannot do. The last thing I want to talk about is documentation. It's part and parcel of what we do in domiciliary care. You've done everything. You've served the client. You have cleaned the house. You've done chores. You've served food. You've done medication. You've done personal care. Documentation. I do emphasize today the fact that documentation is very, very important. Do document everything that you would have done in that client's house. This is for accountability purposes. This is also to make sure that you haven't missed out anything. So depending on the type of documentation you do with your organization, some people, they do have tablets, they do have phones where you actually log in and then you document everything that you've done with the client. But for some organizations, maybe they still, but I think everywhere else that I've worked, yes, I've worked in some organizations where you actually have to fill paper documentation. Do fill those things, do fill those checklists. Part and parcel of what it does when you do your documentation while you're still in the service user's house is, if you've missed out something, then you know, oh, I forgot to feed the pet, and then you go on and feed the pet. Also, part and parcel of why it's so important for you to document is it's for accountability purposes. And when you are documenting, make sure your documentation is factual, is honest, is in real time, and it's in detail for the next person or for whoever is going to may need to read it. They'll have an idea of what you would have done in that place and the sort of care that you had offered in that place. So guys, these are some of the things that I thought I would come here and I'll share with all of you, and just to conscientize everybody. And guys, do not forget to subscribe, share, and to keep sharing our videos, sharing our content with everybody, guys, as we seek to bring insight, as we seek to bring value to everybody. And this is bye for now, and I'll see you in my next video.